Ollie Watkins to Arsenal transfer block. The transfer is in tatters. I'm obviously going to let you know why it's in tatters. We are discussing Carragher, what he said after the game of Chelsea drawing with Man City 4-4 at the Stamford Bridge yesterday under the lights. And lastly, we have something to say about, I think, the manager of Chelsea and the message he put out to the people of Chelsea and the fans plus the players after that well-fought effort, because Man City led thrice and Chelsea leveled thrice. You all know that. So we thank God for the gift of life, and for everyone who is watching in through. It's always nice having you on this channel. And smash the like button, comment and share. If you're already watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Come in late, but I'm going to do the needful to that obviously cover up for you guys. Now, once I brought you a story coming in from Chris Whitley. Chris Whitley is was once an Arsenal correspondent for the Football London, and he now works for Networld Pub. He told us towards the end of October or the beginning of this month that Arsenal like Ivan Toney, but they also like lots of other forwards in that position. Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa is, I think, another one of those players. They do like him, but at the moment, that's as far as it goes. It's one to watch out for January, as Ivan Toney will be pushing for a move away from Brentford. Now, he came out and obviously gave us a very huge hint about how Arsenal are interested in signing Ollie Watkins. And I went ahead and really broke it down that I would rather do an Ollie Watkins other than Ivan Toney. Though others say we want Ivan Toney. Others say that Arsenal should get Ivan Toney, and Ivan Toney is a different kind of striker altogether. But I don't think that Ivan Toney is as clinical as this man Ollie Watkins. And I also raised my case about how Arsenal needs to obviously raise the number of chances they create for their forwards, because you saw to it that when they create chances, even Nketiah can score a hat-trick. That is written all over the book. Even Nketiah can score a hat-trick. So that is one of the things that you need to obviously understand about this gentleman. But this week, we obviously got a confirmation from the Football Insider that Ollie Watkins has gone ahead to obviously not show interest to obviously join Arsenal, because if at all he had interest in Arsenal, he wouldn't really have gone ahead to do this. Ollie Watkins has become the top earner at Aston Villa after signing a new contract. After signing a new £150,000 a week contract in October. So this might be the final nail in the coffin. But when I'm bringing such stories, I obviously flip the coin. You know, I have to talk about both sides. Let me talk about the first face of the coin, you know, of him signing this contract and showing that he wants to be at Aston Villa. When you look at Aston Villa, they've gone ahead to raise 25 points in their first 12 games of the season. You've all seen that. And they're really one of those teams that are really doing great and great and great. And no one is obviously willing to obviously stop them, you know. And it's one of those teams in the top 5 positions of the league. And they've gone ahead to stretch to 13 unbeaten games at home since last season. So it shows you how competitive they are, and maybe Ollie Watkins is really looking at Aston Villa as a force that can obviously come in and really fight the likes of Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, and so on and so forth, because they have a rich man, and the board has gone ahead to recruit better footballing brains, and maybe those are the people that have gone ahead to convince him to obviously renew the contract. And this has gone ahead to make it hard to really name the price of this guy. And why I say that this is a huge transfer block to Arsenal, it's because Ollie Watkins now, having signed a 5-year contract at the side of Aston Villa, he might go for £100 million plus. And with him having a very good season so far, he has gone ahead to score, if I'm to look at his stats, he has gone ahead to score 6 goals in 12 Premier League games, and he has 5 assists. Guys, those are 11 goal involvements, you know, and he offers a lot. 6 Premier League goals and 5 assists. I think no Arsenal guy matches him. When you look at Gabriel Jesus, has 1 Premier League goal. Eddie Nketiah, he has, I think, 5 Premier League goals and I think 2 assists. So it obviously shows you that this might be a guy who can come in through at Arsenal and really deputize Gabriel Jesus very, very well. He has good run off the balls. He has some quick feet. He's a clinical number 9. When you look at the way he obviously scores and how he obviously positions himself in that 18 yards box area of the opponent, he really does great wonders. He's just 27 years of age, and this is going to make it hard for the side of Arsenal to sign him. You understand? Because if he really wanted to leave the side of Villa, he would have gone ahead to let them know that, please, my dream is to go and play for Arsenal, and I'm not going to renew my contract. That is it. So Ollie Watkins has gone ahead to renew his contract, and he's now a £100 million player. That is it. No doubt about that. But on the other side of the coin, when you flip it, it doesn't mean that when a player signs a new contract, he cannot move on to another side. That is it. Moise Caicedo, in February of 2023, after his failed move to join Arsenal, he renewed the contract and put pen to paper to a 4-year contract. But later in the summer, he was obviously sold for £115 million. So it's not a hindrance, but it makes it hard for Arsenal to go in and really sign in a centre forward for that much, because they're having lots of problems at the club of Arsenal. And I think if Arteta is looking at players to bring in, I think he's looking in for all 2 central midfielders, because Jorginho and Thomas Partey might leave in the summer. Then he needs a right attacking midfielder of right quality to come in and compete with Bukayo Saka. And I think Arsenal are going to sign 3 players in the summer, maybe, depending on how many are obviously going to leave. But those 3 positions are really key. Whether in the January transfer window, it might come in through, but I see to it that Arsenal cannot spend £100 million on Ollie Watkins, spend like £60 million on Zubimendi, and spend another £60 million onto another player, because it's going to be really a huge spend. So I think with a contract of Ollie Watkins extended, I see to it that that might obviously bring Ivan Toney closer to the side of Arsenal. And Ollie Watkins might be one of those that is going to be shown what we call a full stop by Arsenal, and they want to open up a new page of Ivan Toney. So we wait and see how that pans out. But this deal is in tatters because of the amount of money and the contract of 5 years that Ollie Watkins is going to hate to obviously sign. But that doesn't mean that Ollie Watkins cannot leave the side of Aston Villa. And Aston Villa is really having some good history of selling players expensively. Remember, they sold Jack Grealish to Man City at £100 million. So Jack Grealish had not hit the levels that Ollie Watkins has gone ahead to really hit. He's really hitting in goals and firing in all cylinders. That is Ollie Watkins. So that leaves me in a very huge ocean of question marks about this guy, and that is Ollie Watkins. So if they sold Jack Grealish at £100 million, how much do you think they're going to sell Ollie Watkins? I leave that question to you, the viewers. And do you think Arsenal can really break the bank and get in Ollie Watkins? All that and more into the comment section below. Now let's leave that story and let's obviously tackle this one too. We are talking Jamie Carragher on Mauricio Pochettino. He said what Pochettino has done in big games is fantastic. You can see him as a manager going up against Klopp, Guardiola, Arteta. He hasn't quite got the tools they've got yet. I don't believe that. He hasn't got the tools they have yet. Having spent $1 billion, trust me, Chelsea are really having a very good squad. Their squad is good, though it lacks quality, that Man City is having. But you all know that quality that Man City do have, it has been something built on longevity of the manager and how they recruit. And Man City is one of those teams that is gonna head not to lose very many players, by the way, because I can look at Ederson has been here for a long time. Kyle Walker has been there for a long time. John Stones has been there for a long time. Rodri, Bernardo Silva, who else? So they're really having like a crop of 7 players. Look at Ruben Diaz. I think he came in through during the COVID time, so that means has been here for like 5 years. But when you look at Chelsea, they no longer have long-serving players at their club. When you talk about long-serving players at the club of Chelsea right now, you only talk about Reece James because it comes from the academy. And who else? Thiago Silva came in 2019, 2020. You understand? Who else has been there for some long time? I don't see others. They are new recruits, good, but they need to obviously see to it that their chemistry really matches. And if their chemistry really comes together, then they're obviously going to the in full. But I think he has the tools. When you're having Moise Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez in that double pivot, you're obviously good to go. The problem with Chelsea, I think they're lacking a central attacking midfielder, and they should go in for a very good central attack midfielder that obviously create chances, like a player like James Maddison, Bruno Fernandes, Martin Odegaard, Kevin De Bruyne, they lack that kind of player there. If at all that player really shows up, then Chelsea might obviously turn out to be a very, very, very good team, because all they need is to see to it that they get in 2 central attacking midfielders. They need to get in backups one more midfielder that can obviously come in through and back up Caicedo, because Romeo Lavia is at Chelsea, though he's injured. He can easily join them and obviously hit the ground running, but the problem has always been simple. They don't have those backups. So they are really good. And the manager of Chelsea, Pochettino, has gone ahead and obviously put out the following article. He said, extremely proud and happy of the players for the attitude and results they have produced in 2 difficult fixtures during this week. It is really satisfying to go to an international break with this feeling, although I prefer we have another game more sooner. We want to build something special at Chelsea, and this is exactly the way we want the players to perform and feel. Already this season, we have had some high and low moments, and the players are showing everyone the capacity they have to compete with any side. Thank you everyone for continuing to show such a great support for the team. And for me, I really don't doubt his capabilities of being a very good manager, though by the time he was linked to Man United, we had a better option, because I believe Erik ten Hag is a better option, and he's really a better manager than Pochettino, because he has shown us that he can elevate a team like Ajax to play in the semi-finals of the Champions League. One will say, but Pochettino went ahead to edge him in the semi-final and beat him 3-2 at his stadium in Ajax, and he knocked them out. But look at the quality of players that Ten Hag used to reach that level, and the quality of players that Spurs really had. The budget that Spurs had by then, Ajax has never had it in its entire time. The most expensive player Ajax have ever signed, I think, is Sebastian Haller, and I think they signed him for 25 million euros. That is it. So I really feel like Erik ten Hag is better than Pochettino, but Pochettino might do a very good job at Chelsea. But I think, as I told you yesterday, that he should really eradicate that small team mentality of really playing well against big teams and not get results against big teams. So that is it. And your thoughts onto that are welcome in the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, my mates. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I'm out. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum.